So this is going to be some more Bernie Sanders supporters crying and being delusional for the third Super Tuesday event on April 26, 2016. The results were Hillary Clinton won in Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. And the only thing Sanders won was Rhode Island, and he barely won that. He got 55%. She got 43. I guess not barely, but it was close. So Sanders got lost a lot, as he's known to do. And this thing's a bit hard to read, so I might struggle with this. So, so one guy says his name is seems legit, and I believe this thread is called "No, I Will Not Yield," and he's got a little flare that says, "There is no reason to quit." None. Oh, you poor man. And it says, "I am going to basically say the same thing I said after the New York results. No matter the outcome tonight, nothing changes. The delegate math was improbable yesterday. It is improbable today. And it'll be improbable tomorrow. Winning the nomination has never been a likelihood. Regardless, we need to keep working, canvassing, phone baking, fighting all the way to the end in order to send Bernie to the convention with as much bargaining power and as many delegates as possible. Bernie now has a prominent position in the Democratic Party to continue the momentum for our revolution." He continues, "It looks as though nobody will have enough pledged delegates to win this primary outright. We are taking this lead in some of the national polling, adding delegates with each state convention with 2.5 months still to go. The outcome of the national convention is still largely uncertain. Regardless, Bernie has dominated the election conversation with his messages of Wall Street and reform, campaign finance, income inequality, paid college tuition, Medicaid for all, $50 minimum wage, which is the dumbest thing imaginable. You know how many fucking small businesses it's going to fucking hurt? Jesus Christ, etc., etc. Continuing the fight the fight all the way to the convention keeps him front and center, spreading his message, and it gives him the influence to get concessions from Hillary if she wins the nomination. The strength of Bernie's support for Hillary if she becomes a nominee depends on how well she adopts and fights for our issues." You listen to your fucking self. She doesn't mean a single thing she fucking says. And he continues again. "The math for putting Bernie in the White House may look daunting, but the show must go on." Bernie is still in the Senate. He is now essentially the leader of the fastest growing wing of the Democratic Party, as well as a huge, YUG, I wonder where they got that from, block of unaffiliated progressive voters. Yeah. And he is still going to continue to fight with us. We must continue campaigning for Bernie because this revolution isn't ending, and we have to keep spreading the message and growing the movement. And this is to the right of it. I'm assuming it's connected. So one guy says his name is Sox El Gato, I guess. His name's kind of small. He says, "Down, but not out. Remember, Bernie gave us the tools to fight the establishment. You're seeing the last vestiges of this establishment. Don't give in. It doesn't end tonight. It's not a waste. It's an awakening. Still going to fight for Bernie until the convention." Then the guy replies, "Nah, this is just the beginning. Think of it like this, too. Right now, there's a big right-wing push going on. Bernie's vote was split by Trump as well." What? Your groups, I'm pretty sure none of these places are neutral, so you have to register for your group beforehand. So I think that's bullshit. This is actually huge. We've gone through a whole election cycle, a crap ton of propaganda, parentheses, billions of dollars worth, probably, and more people than ever are still awake. It's not. If that's not big, what is? How are they going to put us back to sleep? Then a person replies, "Come on, FBI, save us!" And another one said, Philadelphia. Like Philadelphia, but with filth in the front. That's very clever. One person said, "Oh, this is beautiful." This guy comments saying, "Closing the gap in Delaware. Here comes Bernie." Then underneath that says a picture said, "Clinton wins Delaware." And then a person says, this person's flare says, "Email from Bernie." And his thread said, "I want you to keep this in mind." And that seems legit again. The person who's long-winded and annoying. He says, "Email message from Bernie." And they put in the quotes, "The polls are about to close in 5 states, and we expect to do well in a number of them." As you watch the results, I want you to keep something very important in mind. We are running a historic campaign which is transforming America for the worst. Any victories and any votes we receive tonight, next week in Indiana, and in each state moving forward are a public declaration of support for the values we share. Our path to the nomination was never narrower than the day I announced my candidacy. I will not stop fighting for an America where no one works 40 hours a week, lives in poverty, where health care is a right for all Americans, where kids of all backgrounds go to college without crushing debt, where there is no bank too big to fail, no banker too powerful to jail, and we've reclaimed our democracy from the billionaire class. The political establishment wants us to go away so they can begin their march to the center, but we can send a message to them in a language that they're sure to understand. A typical Jew tactics right now. Contribute to our campaign today, and we're going to keep fighting for the nomination while sending an unmistakable message to the political establishment about our commitment to the values we share. Now, beforehand, I remember going, because Bernie Sanders himself has posted on his little subreddit a couple times, and I went to his profile to see, because I had a hunch about something, I started to see what his comments were. Literally every single thing he posted on Reddit was just him asking for money. Like, yeah, donate this much money. We're at a deadline. Donate this much money. And this. Donate. Everything he says is just him leeching money off his fucking gullible, brain dead supporters. And this is a thread here. This is the title. There's a message attached to it. It says, Californian here. Win or lose, rain or shine, regardless of the results. After today, I want my state to burn, even hotter than the wildfires caused by the drought. Call our phones and knock on our doors. Get people registered. It'll be glorious. His name was Fat Cat 22 Abel. I don't know what that's supposed to fucking mean. And one guy named Smooth Q says, Bernie won in my mind. Too bad. You were delusional and mentally retarded, so what happens in your mind is utterly irrelevant, and you've backed the wrong horse. Another person says, his name is Minifig81, Indiana Bernie Squad Sergeant, so that means he's wasted tons of money on this old Jew. And he says, something confuses me. Why on earth would PA vote right now, in bold, for Bernie over Trump when it's been called for Hillary? This is nuts. Do people not live up to their votes? What the fuck are they getting at? I'm pretty sure Philadelphia, because I think most of the states are independent, so you have to register for your civic party beforehand. So Bernie's not stealing any votes from Trump. Fucking like, who the fuck would? And Trump's not stealing any votes from Bernie. Just Bernie's got terrible ideas that people are throwing his shit, and these stupid little teenagers, most of whom cannot vote, don't seem to notice and think that just because their own circle jerk on Reddit upvotes their fucking same shitty shill posts 5,000 times each, that they have this huge following that's going elsewhere and they're going to take over the world. That's not the fucking case. Which is clear because Hillary Clinton, of all fucking people, is beating him in the popular vote, and she's a goddamn snake. Another post says, call PA for Hillary with 2%. Rhode Island's still too close to call. Another person says, LOL, no, not like the Titanic. I don't know what the context of that is. Oh, here we go. A underscore Bacon says, fuck Hillary Clinton, in all caps. Watches in Hope says, I'm sorry, USA, you deserve so much better than this insult of a process. One guy replies saying, thanks. Another guy says, God bless you, Connecticut, let's do it. We lost that one. Another guy says, fuck, this booze was supposed to last me through Sunday. Oh, here we go. And this guy named Sweater Vest A Lamo says, see ya, Bernie! CYA. That's how you spell it. Another guy said, is it over, guys? Like, do we still have a chance? Then another guy replied to him saying, just 2% reporting, chill. Another guy says, please, Pittsburgh, go for Bernie. We could take PA then. Another guy says, oh my god, in all caps, OMG, we are beating benchmarks. Check it. Nope, but you got bad sources. Another guy says, only down 19 in Philly. We might not win, but it could be closer than expected. Oh, I need to go up here, but and this guy says, this rigged system is demoralizing. Another guy said, how did America get so lost? Oh my. This guy's name is Johnny Redshort, and he's got his flare says Vermont Bernie Squad Lance Corporal. So he's wasted tons of his money. Oh, I might add, I've seen, because their posts always get circle jerked to fucking all on Reddit. I happened to see that some of their admins were full on telling the people who subscribe there to donate their life savings to Bernie Sanders after he lost New York. Donate your life fucking savings to a doomed campaign for a crazy old socialist with terrible ideas that wants to destroy the trucking industry for a monorail and instead, which would destroy so many jobs for so many people. Another guy says, whatever, not a big deal. Hillary needed blowout wins in all 5 states. And instead, she's going to win the corn white states. It's funny because the only demographic Bernie does win is fucking stupid SJW white people, and the minorities constantly shit on him. And corn white states and PA once again doesn't count. Massive voter suppression across most districts, of course. Another closed primary. Ignore it. Hillary needs blowouts in all remaining contests to avoid a contested convention. What do you fucking think's gonna happen at a contested convention for you? Do you really think a single person in the DNC will fucking pick Bernie when he was an independent for his entire career and didn't join the Democratic Party until they started this fucking race? And it's nothing but go. And it's very clear that the party hates him reasonably and wants to go Hillary because she's a massive fucking snake puppet. I mean, you're losing. You're gonna lose regardless. Fucking, she's got those super delegates that guaranteed her victory legitimately. And if you somehow, by some fluke, get to a contested convention, you're gonna lose instantly on the first fucking ballot. There's nothing gonna be good for you. He continues, it sucks we didn't get more people, but Bernie still has a nationwide lead. And remember, April polls = August polls. Bernie is still the way stronger candidate. Stay strong. What drugs are these people taking? The guy says, can't understand Connecticut's, quotations, kleptomania stealing Bernie votes, frowny face. Yes, because God forbid you lose legitimate. Anytime your old crazy cuck fucking loses, it's because of shenanigans. Another person said, I voted for Bernie today in MD, Maryland. So did several of my friends. Oh, so I guess 5 people voting is going to turn the tides. We live in, well, I can't necessarily, because there was one time in Super Tuesday 1 where Bernie actually did beat Hillary by 1 single vote. So that was pretty crazy. We live in Hagerstown, where Trump flew in to give a speech. ... If you know nothing about my area of MD, it's no surprise Clinton and Trump won. Just very disheartening to see people I know so in love with a xenophobic bigot. I truly did not get it. Give me one example of him saying something bigoted. I guarantee you can't, because none of you can, because you're all misinformed fucking sheep that are so susceptible to propaganda you might as well be fucking brain dead. Another guy says his name is Korea Effial. Damn, Pennsylvania. Disappointed. Another guy says, in bold, friendly reminder, this is a presidential election, not a football game. There is no winning, in quotes, and there is no losing, in quotes. It's all about how the delegates are allotted. Bernie is doing very well, in bold, tonight, and how he easily could have been crushed in the delegate count, and tonight, instead, it's looking like nothing is really going to change. Still an uphill as fuck battle, but nothing some fired up activists ready to take on a corrupt political machine can't handle. Fight on, in bold. Don't feed to the media narratives of winning and losing. If you haven't already, get bold. Get on the goddamn phones and call voters. It's so ridiculously easy. I was actually embarrassed at how readily I talked myself out of it for so long. Now, one of these times, I saw them boasting, openly, happily boasting with utter pride, that they got a 12-year-old boy a 12-year-old boy to phone bank for them. And then, if you don't know, phone banking is where they just get like some fucking like phone book, call random people minding their business. Hey, you should vote for Bernie Sanders. So imagine how they feel having some fucking stupid 12-year-old without when his brain hasn't even fucking formed, telling them who they should vote for and why. What the fuck does a 12-year-old know about politics? What the fuck does a 12-year-old know about America? What the fuck does a 12-year-old know about the fucking world? So yeah, and since you keep fucking losing and losing and losing and losing and losing and losing, maybe it's time to hang up your hats on the phone banking, because it's clearly not fucking working, because it's clearly a stupid fucking thing. Not a single person on Trump's side has fucking gone phone banking. I'm pretty sure Hillary hasn't phone banked either, and they're both winning. They're both beating you. So your strategy is flawed and an utter failure. Maybe come up with something else, but that would imply you have creativity, which would also imply you have brains, and just because you're fucking supporting Sanders, that pretty much disproves both. Okay, what's next? This guy says, his name is Future Waves, which is a dumb name. Based on the primary results coming in, I have to just shake my head. In the greatest, in quotes, country in the world, in the greatest country in the world, with a population of 314 million people, the two candidates who will vie for our vote in November are the oligarchic candidate who will say anything to get a vote, and a megalomaniac reality TV racist. News A, here, let me tell you something that's a surprise. Mexican isn't a fucking race, it's a nationality. Just like I am not the race of fucking German. I'm a fucking Caucasian of German ancestry. Just like if you call fucking, if like say, you say my friend, you're talking to my friend Koku's Polish, and you call him a filthy fucking Polak, you're not racist, because Polish isn't a race, it's a fucking nationality. And neither is Muslim. Muslim's not a race either, it's a religion. Just like Ben Affleck is a Muslim, and he's fucking white. So you're so stupid, it makes me fucking angry. Fucking educate your fucking self. Read a fucking book. Read a book that's not written by some fucking nonsensical feminist drivel that purports a fucking bullshit wage gap, when last year women made more money than men. But I said, no, it's bullshit. It's fucking stats. Look it up, you dumb piece of shit. Anyway, he continues. I blame American schools. Oh, how funny. How could we produce an electorate that is so out of touch with critical thinking, analysis, and key issues, that a thirst for truth, compromise, and rational thought? I'm sure you have tons of rational thoughts. Good night, ... We dug this grave, and now we have to lie in it. This is certainly the best we can do, ... And a guy, I'm assuming this is a reply. His name is Defier Rises, and he says, well, I'm an independent. If Bernie doesn't get the nomination, I'm voting Trump. There you go, buddy. No way in hell I would vote for the snake Clinton. She's the embodiment of everything wrong with our political system. He says, and another guy says, Trump will ruin this country. Oh, and Bernie won't, by having $15 minimum wage, which destroys small business, and make it so you can't really hire anybody, and make college free, which will raise everyone's taxes, because someone's got to pay for that, and devalue the degrees completely, and most of the people would just get gender studies degrees, which would be useless, and destroy the truck industry, which would destroy jobs, and bring in tons of more Mexicans that will take the jobs under for slave wages, which people will have even more of a reason to hire them, because now that the minimum wage is so fucking ridiculously high, it's like, well, I could pay this fucking little teenager $15 an hour and bankrupt myself, or I can pay this Mexican guy 3 pennies a fucking week. What am I gonna do? This is a tough one. Or bring in tons of Muslims that are going to rape the fuck out of everybody and commit crimes and suck up more welfare, just like they're doing in all of Europe. In Sweden, for example, the rape statistics in Sweden went up 140% after the Muslims came in, because they're fucking backwards savages. And then Bernie will probably do a bunch of things to restrict guns and stuff, and probably fuck over the cops, because when a black person aims a gun at a white cop and the white cop shoots him, that's apparently racist, needs to be stopped, and to punish the cop for that. So, yeah, that country's gonna be ruined for Trump, because he wants to fucking seal up our border and act to have a country and not have TPP ruin everything. He continues. He'll ruin foreign relations because we don't want to be a doormat anymore. He'll screw up immigration. I think you mean fix immigration. He'll fucking destroy women's abortion rights. Really? Because, what's the fuck's wrong with adoption? And, because he's actually been the most favorable towards it when it debates. And he's fine with it for incest, rape, and if you're gonna get killed doing it. But you also gotta take into account he doesn't give a shit about abortion, because why the fuck would he? Abortion is a meaningless fucking subject. Get a better fucking thing to worry about. And try to get rid of gay marriage. This is absolutely... There's no base to this comment. Trump hasn't said a single fucking thing against gay people at any point in fucking time. I don't think he's actually mentioned gay marriage, and if he did, I must have missed it. But on this same subject, he actually supported the transgender bathroom thing. Said, yeah, fucking T-girls can piss wherever the fuck they want, I don't give a shit. And he says, Trump is more of an embodiment of what is wrong with our country than Clinton. You are so fucking foolish. Another guy says, it's a shame that the American population is one... Alright, try again. It's a shame that the American population isn't 100% white, aged 18 to 20, and with no job, or else Sanders might have had a chance. I'm 20 and I'm voting for Trump, so you can suck my dick. And the guy replied, ha ha ha, cause just say hello like a normal person, you fucking mongrel. Another guy said, I'd like to see you write your own critical comment of Sanders instead of just parroting Clinton campaign schemes. You mean that guy saying ha ha ha? Cause, I don't know, I guess that in reference to something else. Another guy said, I really hate how vocal Bernie Sanders supporters are online, but how shit they are how shit they are at actually voting. Trump is going to be president because more Democrats who don't pay attention to politics vote than those who supposedly do. And that guy, I think, replied to him saying, Sanders supporters did vote, but it looks like the majority of Americans really do want Trump to be president. That's because Americans actually have more brains than most people gave us credit for. Where's the next thing? I think this is it. Okay. This guy says, I can't read his fucking name because his text is so damn small. But I can see fuck in his name, so that's it. He says, you know what? Fuck this country. Just fuck it. America, you are a fucking disgrace to the free world. You have a very clean candidate who has been working his fucking ass off for you to notice him and promising to implement all these things that every single major country on earth has, but you just think of it as pie in the sky. Most countries are also smaller than us, as much more white peoples and not a lot of leeches. Pie in the sky and quote-unquote too expensive. So you vote for a candidate who's just trying to run a platform of woman president. Well, I'll give you that, that's true. And you eat it up like the fast food you pick up for lunch. Unless Clinton gets indicted, we deserve Trump as president because we are one of the only major countries on earth who voted against expanding employee benefits to make life easier for us. For someone who is more focused on building free walls to protect the illegal immigrants who have been declining and crossing the country over the past 5 years. Shame on you, America. Maybe they're declining because all of fucking Mexico has already moved here. Anything about that? Unchecked fucking borders for fucking like 10 years? I'm sure that won't run out of fucking people coming over. Another person replies, we could still hope for an indictment. Do people not care that the person they voted for is under an FBI investigation? The guy says, this is the blowout into California. Oh, this or a blowout in California is about what it will take at this point. If I remember right, California's got 500 delegates for the Democrats, so I guess that's what they're fucking referring to. Is that 500 or 200? I can't remember. I know the Republicans was only like 127. Another guy says, it may prove ironic that many people refuse to vote for Bernie because they feared that he could win the Democratic primary, but not the general election. Well, he's winning fucking neither. This guy's name is Juicy Space. I love his name, and he says, I hope this doesn't sound racist. Oh boy. But does anyone find it ironic that a highly progressive candidate gave freedom to the African American community, but now, 153 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, the African American community is the reason the most progressive candidate, far and away since Lincoln, won't be elected? And that guy replied, this sounds really ignorant. And it's funny. You call Lincoln progressive. He was actually a Republican. And he full on said if he could preserve the Union without freeing the slaves, he would have fucking done it. He didn't even want to free the slaves, but he did it because he didn't seem to have a choice. So that's really progressive. Full on saying, yeah, these guys deserve to be slaves, but I don't have a choice. And all your progressive ideas are fucking poison. And honestly, I think, just from what I've also heard other black people say, they would find being called African American a lot more offensive than anything fucking else. They just, most of the ones I've met, but actually I'm afraid all of them just prefer being called black. Cause come on, I mean, it's fucking nobody gives a shit if you call us white. I'm sure calling them Mexican or Hispanic brown would be offensive to them though, but that's a bit different. This one's highlights. This would be special. This guy says, his name's, I guess it's a woman. His name's Carol. Says, "Stop it! Just stop it! We did better than expected. This is a war, people. Did you think it was going to be easy? This is the democratic establishment machine we are up against." She caps lock everything. "It has been in the making for decades. You don't charge in as soon as you get scared, turn tail, and run away. Fight!" Let's think. I'm fighting this machine, and I've lost more times than I've won. And I'll keep fighting. 99 losses, 1 win. That'll get me in. That'll win the day. And this guy says, his name is Swangin' Bears 2. Stupid name. GG America. Clinton's got too many holes primed to be popped by some Trump dick. Another guy says, "Well, idiocracy's turned into reality." Well, that would be the case if actually Bernie won and pushed more social justice nonsense into the fucking world and into schools, induction everybody would be a crybaby fucking pussy that gets upset by words and shit. Just, pathetic. Another person says, "Is there any way we can get rid of superdelegates for good? Because it isn't democratic." That I do agree with. That is blatantly corrupt. Another person says, Clinton is going to lose. I'm voting for 3P. Have fun wasting your fucking vote and fucking vote for someone even crazier than Bernie with that lunatic Jill Stein, who actively says we need to just encourage more Mexicans to cross the border and give them automatic citizenship. Let's give all these cartel monsters and criminals over here free fucking citizenship and welfare and all this, that, and the other thing, and bring in all these Muslims to come and rape and pillage us. What is it with fucking Jews and destroying their countries? Merkel's Jewish too, and she's bringing in millions of immigrants and the Muslims, and they rape and pillage everything. And then if you go on Twitter and say, "Hey, these refugees fucking raped me," you have your accounts removed, your kids taken away, and you're called a racist and you're put in jail. So yeah, fucking, it's such a huge, great track record so far. Let's get some more in. Let's see if we can force any fucking Jewish politicians out of Japan so they can ruin their country by bringing in a bunch of fucking Muslims that do nothing but leech off their welfare system. In England, everybody has to pay extra taxes to fucking put these refugees in a $1 million a month fucking mansion so they can live there for free. What the fuck is that? This guy's named Alchemy Phoenix, and I can tell I'm gonna like this one. He says, "Unfortunately, black people tend to not consume news through cable talk shows and Reddit as much as white people do. This means they are exposed to whatever very limited line of influence comes through their pastors and community leaders. Clinton only had to get to a few people at the top of the black community, and millions of them were easily led into seeing her as their candidate, and Bernie as the other. Once you see yourself as belonging to a side, it becomes like a football game. Most of these black voters knows little to nothing about Bernie, and me saying that can piss people off all day, but it's the honest to God truth. I commend him for not bringing up Bernie's civil rights past, marching with MLK and all that, because every single fucking person, every time Bernie loses, like, what the fuck, black people? Bernie marched for you 70 fucking years ago. He marched for you. What the fuck? Or 50 years ago, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit when they did this. And this guy says, "Seriously, why aren't blacks voting for Sanders? He's the only one who cares about their issues." And what do you mean the only one who's fucking outright pandering to like a cuckold he is? "And these idiots keep voting for Hillary or Trump. Oh, crushed, killed, destroyed. Oh, Oh, you called him Drumpf, a name that he fucking had no input in having. Someone is 3 generations ago before he was born, they changed his name like everyone else who came into America that way from back then. Oh, what are we gonna do? Trump blown the fuck out. Arguments destroyed. He's lost. He's gonna drop out now because you called him Drumpf. You know, I was a Trump supporter. But then this guy, Eon14, called him Drumpf. So now I'm a cruise missile. Cruise 2016, we're gonna do it, baby. Fuck these Hillary shills, he says. And this guy says, seriously, Sanders should run independent. And the guy replied, ensure a Trump presidency? That's what we need, baby. And then the guy said, I'd rather not risk Trump winning when Sanders and Hillary split dim votes. Oh, jeez. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever said. Some combination of Stein and Sanders. They make their own party, the Jewish party. This guy named Space Yeti, he says, well, Trump is having a good night. Jesus Christ, you goddamn right, baby. All 5 fucking states. This guy says, do you think Bernie would run again in 2020? He's gonna be dead by then. Guy says, there's no way. Another guy, no. Too old, frowny face. This guy says, he may be dead. What's next? Beer. This guy says, in its highlights, this should be fucking cool. I've been fucking polite by saying that, in quotes, they don't get it. You want me to be honest? Fine. Let me tell you. They particularly the blacks, are fucking stupid, okay? They're not uninformed. They are plain stupid, okay? Do you know why they're voting for Hillary? Do you have a fucking clue? Let me tell you something. They're voting for her because they're as unscrupulous, selfish, and greedy as her. First, they're not going to vote for GOP, so their only choice is Dems. Second, these low-life no-shits about economy. They just care about their paychecks. They're in the false imagination that Hillary will somehow restore the glory of flourishing economic era under her husband, Bill's reign. So they don't need to stay unemployed again. They will turn a blind eye on income inequality if that's what needed to be. Third, these assholes don't even remotely care about their future generation. Police brutality, social justice, oligarchy, WTF are all these things. They are only stressed about affirmative actions and reparations because these issues benefit themselves. These are the older generation of black voters. What about the younger ones? Oh, they're lurking on the streets, joining gangs, and smoking weed. No time for politics. Bunch of cowards. Fucking someone's unironically saying social justice, like that's a good thing to fucking actually be responsible for. I guess pay inequality, such as women making more money than men last year. But I think it was actually by quite like I think they actually made 33,000 more. I can't remember the exact quote. I remember they made a lot more than them. You can look it up for yourself if you want. Guy replies, "Well, at least you let your true colors shine through." Wow. This guy says, "We need a 2016 presidential election Hall of Fame." What's that supposed to fucking mean? This guy says, "Brah, this is some racist ass shit and shouldn't be something you should be proud of." I'm so glad you told me it was racist, because I wouldn't have put two together and realized it was racist by him saying all black people are fucking stupid, selfish, drug addict cowards. I wouldn't have known that was racist. I'm so glad you shined down your impeccable wisdom to me and showed me the light that this man's a racist. And when he said was racist, what would I do without you? What would I do without you, Kalim's gibberish name? This guy says, "You really aren't helping." Really? Well, I don't think any of you are fucking doing is helping him win the fucking nomination, because he's getting the shit kicked out of him by a snake. You really should have backed somebody stronger, like we did. This guy says, "LOL, thanks, I appreciate your candor. Totally save this as an example of what a vocal, for instance, at least, minority of Reddit truly thinks. Love it." Minority. I posted like a 2-hour video of all of you saying this type of shit, so it's really not minority. This guy's name is Noah the Unknowable. What a dumb name. And he says, "Hey, are you on Sanders' writing team?" What? And this guy says, "Dude, you just went full Republican uncle. R.I.P. your karma." That's funny because actually, as I said before, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and Republicans are the ones who abolished slavery. Everyone wants to say, go shit on us for like, oh, racist, we had slaves. We were actually the first people to actually abolish slavery. And they were Republicans, and the Democrats seceded from the nation and fought them to keep slaves. And the Democrats made the Confederacy, and then the Ku Klux Klan was founded by former Confederate soldiers who were also former Southern Democrats. And at first, the Klan was just a social club just for them to hang out and drink and wear weird outfits. But then they grew popular. It's like, hey, they got weird shit. And so other groups of that same name popped up elsewhere, and they were racist, and they went around terrorizing black people and actually killed white Republicans. So, I doubt you knew that, though. Because you're a fucking idiot. This guy says, "Gotta love Bernie Bros," and he has quotes. "Blacks are fucking stupid, okay? They're not uninformed. They are plain stupid, okay? Do you know why they're voting for Hillary? Do you have a fucking clue? Let me tell you something. They're voting for her because they're as unscrupulous and greedy as her." That wasn't that far along the comment chain. I don't think you needed to fucking actually quote that. We don't have a 3. Well, actually, considering this is in the Sanders subreddit, I probably would expect to have a 3-second fucking memory. This one. This guy says, "Rich white wankers." The guy replied, "Evil 1% swayed the vote." Oh, of course. This guy, I can't read his name, says, "I know how it feels. I still hate my state for our primary." Oh, in New York. And this guy says, just gave Bernie $200. We got this. The guy replied, "Completely honest, genuine question. Why would you do that?" We're saying it again. Completely honest and genuine question. Why would you do that? The guy replied, "Bless you." And the guy said, "CNN about the project." Frowny face. I don't these people know politics. I mean, fucking. I think they honestly believe that if they just give him tons of fucking obscene amounts of money, if they raise him like $100 billion, which is just going to go to the DNC and go to Hillary when he drops out and supports her. So they're just funding Hillary. They're going to be so fucking upset and butthurt when that happens too. It's going to be so fucking delicious. But instead, you actually need to vote. Novel idea. You need to vote for this person to make them win. Not just throw money at them and expect your problems to go away because you're selfish fucking leeches. And that's the reason you want to vote for Bernie, because he promises free fucking college and legalized weed, and you just fucking go in your degenerate studies degree and you can make $15 an hour at fucking Walmart or McDonald's. You're gonna be fucking set, and he's gonna fucking probably abolish the fucking police and just have blacks rule their own places. Good to end into chaos because those places are full of fucking crime. It's gonna be a fucking socialist wonderland, just like fucking the Soviet Union, which is where he went on his honeymoon. There's this picture of there's this thing from Steam, and this guy, it's between a guy named Bob Saget and Kyle. Bob Saget says, "Clean sweep." Kyle goes, "What?" Bob Saget, "5 states clean sweep." Kyle, "Woo! Throw a party. I've lost all interest in politics." Bob Saget, "LOL, I'm sorry." Kyle, "Life goes on, whatever happens. No worries, man. More power to Trump, LOL. He's got a tough road ahead if he does become president." Bob Saget, "You will see the light one day, just not today." And he goes, "Psst." This is a text thing, and it's from, I guess, to Dad. And he says, "Have you looked at today's primary results?" And he shows a picture of Glenn Beck crying. And he says, "Shut the fuck up." He goes, "Love you too, Dad." And this guy named Wolf Eater says, "What is the best way to distract myself from this shit show? Using a computer and/or uh, Chromecasted projector? Need to not do this right now." Oh, and this guy says, "TYT, the Young Turks garbage, is basically seating a Bernie nomination, barring an indictment. But they're saying some pretty awesome stuff about the future of the progressive movement." I think you mean the regressive movement. "And it's not going away. Occupy was the warning shot. This is the first blood." Excuse me, my nose is fucking clogged off from the pollen in the air. Okay, and we're back. Alright, where was I? Regressive movement. It's not going away. Occupy. Oh, that warning shot. Okay. Another guy said, "I'm glad that the media fucked us this entire election. It's fine. It's only our future. Maybe you should actually work for a living and you'd understand how stupid fucking Bernie is." Another guy says, "I think it's time to accept the inevitable. I feel as if he laid the groundwork for the future. I just hope people don't forget what he fought for. Change doesn't happen overnight." Another guy. His name is Roger Daltrey, and he is from California. And he says, "I just started crying." How precious. As someone in high school... Of course you are. I'm so depressed that we may actually get Hillary or Trump in office. This is my future, frowny face. I want Bernie to win so badly, and we need him to win. Oh, boo-hoo. No free college for me. No free weed for me. Oh, boo-hoo. Fucking degenerate. And, this guy says, his name is Posh Diggory. He says, "I hope the world burns, BURNS." And this thread is called RIPAMD, results mega thread. And he said, "Clinton leading in CT. Please God, no. I'm close to crying. I can't take this fucked up world anymore." Another guy says, "I would kill myself before voting for her. We cannot let evil triumph." And another guy says, "It says a lot that I watch Trump's speech but turn off Clinton's." Another guy says, "Listening to Trump trashing Hillary, I would like to see a Trump-Clinton debate just for fun. It would be great. But Bernie-Trump debate would be fun, too, because Trump would mop the fucking floor with him because Bernie's a fucking weak peasant." This guy says, "Crooked Hillary. Well, I don't disagree with you. I think if you actually gave him a chance to look into his politics and heard him talk from himself instead of getting your shit fed through a tube, through a biased propagandist tube, you would actually agree with him on a lot of things. And this is in bold. Crooked Clinton. Her husband would prefer somebody else, so should we." This guy said, "Jesus, Trump is fucking destroyed excuse me. Jesus, Trump fucking destroyed tonight. I can't believe his margins considering he's running against 2 other people." Pretty much he's running against one person because nobody gives a shit about cases. This guy says, "As a Mexican citizen living in the U.S., I'll stay here if Trump wins. I'll leave if Hillary wins." Well, if you're an actual citizen, then you have absolutely nothing to fear. God legitimately and pay your taxes and you're a good person and fucking you got not a damn thing to fear. They're the people we want to keep. This guy says, "I feel like when people compare a potential Trump presidency to a potential Hillary presidency, they always use a worst case scenario for Trump and pretty optimistic expectation for Hillary." And the guy replied, "No one is trolling for Trump. Okay? Hillary isn't a viable candidate. Trump isn't owned by big oil. He has a better chance than any candidate of not killing millions of people. At the same time, he will open up the internet and free speech will return. Yes, fucking please. The real left-wing activists that Obama has squelched will come back and we'll get another chance at things. We screwed up this time. What are you going to do?" Bernie almost made it, though. That's a big step there. He didn't almost make shit. He got his ass kicked since the first fucking day. This guy is named Mimsy, and he says, "Time to get real." Oh, this is a highlight, by the way. Sanders for president is over. But that doesn't mean we stop fighting. The more delegates we have at the convention, the more we can influence Hillary to adopt some of our positions. Also, we have to continue fighting for down-ticket progressives. She might tell you that she's going to take your... well, also, she ain't going to do a damn thing. I don't know why you fucking expect Hillary to keep her word. Also, the person who made this picture made a note saying, "That part isn't happening." Okay. This is a long one, this guy says. "Guys, remember, we're doing this amidst massive election fraud. We're absolutely killing it. This was supposed to be a Hillary sweep, But thanks to your efforts, it definitely was not. Contrary to whatever narrative MSM tries to push, really, she won all but one state. I think going 4-1 is a pretty good sweep. But he says, but you must also remember this. The law doesn't protect the people protect the law. Election fraud is illegal, but change will only happen if we want it badly enough. Generations of people died to give us the right to vote. The situation right now is reminiscent of a third world country rife with corruption and political turmoil. Only different is it isn't a military dictatorship stripping us of our rights. It's a private political party that represents the interests of a powerful corporations as special interests. Interests who would casually utilize slave labor and destroy our planet to maximize their profits. The question is, what do we do about it? We fight, raise hell, and throw the corrupt party system into it. Getting the Sanders in office is this subreddit's goal. Well, it's a goal you fail. But regardless of whether that happens or not, we have already achieved a much higher purpose. We have uncovered the corruption within our political system. How fucking dense are you? The politics have been, it's been common knowledge that this has been corrupt since at least 2000, and it's probably been a lot more. It's been known a lot further than that. But that's just been the most obvious system. And we have conducted the largest grassroots campaign in American history. And it was a failure, so good going. Encouraging hundreds of thousands of people, mostly young adults who would otherwise not vote at all, and still haven't voted, to get out and vote. No matter what happens, we have already won. Then he continues. It probably sounds like I'm throwing in a towel and saying, pack it up, boys. Hell no! I'm pumped as hell, and I expect us to take this thing to beyond California. So let's get out there and take back our country, our lives, our futures. These people remind me of the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where he gets all of his limbs cut off, and he says, I'm ready to go, I could do it, let's do it. You people are so fucking delusional. And this guy says, Trump will have left-wing opposition to interventionist wars. Hillary will have bipartisan support. And the guy replies, she's the worst of all worlds. At least under Trump, progressives will mobilize. Maybe they will even do. They will even do so under Clinton. Who knows? Can't win. I found myself agreeing with some of Trump's statements, however. See what happens when you go in with an open mind and listen to someone's words from themselves, from the horse's mouth, and actually listen to someone instead of just saying, oh, racist, dude, racist, bigot, sexist, xenophobic, mean words. You actually see that that's all bullshit, and you were wrong to think this. There's still time to get aboard the Trump train. It's not too late. You just have to disavow Bernie. And that's really simple because he's an idiot. And this guy says, Trump is the peace candidate. He didn't vote for Iraq. Yep. And he also is the only person that doesn't want to fuck with Russia. I can't say the same for Bernie. You're a socialist, peaceful fucking god. He has said we need to fucking stand up to Russia. We need to stand up to a leader who fucking rides a horse shirtless in the middle of the woods and fucking hunts bears with a rifle. He hunts bears shirtless on horseback. Do you think that's someone we want to fight? Do you think that's someone we could fucking win against? 'Cause I don't think so. And this guy says, Trump is far more anti-war than Hillary. He's also far more anti-war than Bernie. He didn't say the part. That last part is an ad-lib. This guy says, interesting point. That's one of the reasons I see her as so dangerous. Plus, Trump doesn't seem to be very interventionist. He's gonna suck away a lot of votes from her if he keeps talking like he's been lately. You mean talking like he's been from the beginning? He says, let's just have Trump choose Bernie as his vice president if he wins. Well, that would be the most I mean, they hate each other. Well, not just Trump, but Bernie hates Trump because he's a dumbass. And their ideas are very not similar at all. But Trump is a nationalist, and Bernie's a socialist. So the mixing would give us National Socialism. And despite what you may think, Germany was actually booming under Hitler under National Socialism until, he had his advisors gave a bunch of drugs and decided to fight everybody. Excuse me, my nose is getting fucked up again. Okay. Fuck pollen. Where was I? Where's the next thing of that? Okay. This one guy says, actually some of Bernie's blue-collar voters would be better off under a Trump admin. They should vote on trade policies alone, and no one should hate them for it. And this guy says, you know what, I hope Trump beats Hillary if it comes down to it. Just to show the Democratic Party how badly they fucked up this election. You'd beat Bernie too, you're fucking Democrats are going to lose regardless. This guy says, it would most certainly be a lesson in humility. The guy goes, yep. And this guy says, alright, Maddow, it's clear where you lay now, declaring it's effectively over. What does she have against Bernie? She has been very harsh on him for simply vowing to stay in the race. Why is it an awful, terrible thing if he wants to go all the way to the convention? Because he's getting the shit kicked out of him and he has no hope of fucking winning, you dumb piece of shit. And this guy just says F. I guess he's paying his respects. And the guy says, don't mourn, organize. And this guy says in all caps, fuck the Clintons. I will never vote for Hillary. And this guy says, come on, indictment. Or at least severe enough damage to her reputation that Bernie has enough ammo to contest with at the convention. Really? You think he'd actually do that despite being a fucking pussy in the first debate? Goes, enough with your damn emails! If he had actually, instead of helping her with that, instead of showing the people at the debates how corrupt she is, and instead of actually hitting her with things, her rep would go down. He was like, hey, she's actually a piece of shit. Let's not vote for her. And he would go up. But no. So if he didn't do it then, or the 5, 6, 7, 8 other times they had the debate, why would he do it now? And why would he do it now? Especially, he said, if she wins, he'll support her. Which destroys his fucking values, because she represents everything he hates. Big, corrupt money in politics. She is Mrs. Wall Street. Yet, he says he will support her if she wins. Why? And it just seems, this whole thing just seems like a setup, like he just came in, promised a bunch of sheep, ridiculous things, get a bunch of money, steal all their money, give it to DNC and Hillary to fund their shit against Trump, and then probably go as a VP or whatever. If he, I would not be surprised if Hillary made him her VP. And this guy says, the political revolution might not start with Bernie, but hasn't he showed us what's possible for his country? Oh, you mean shit? That being said, we still fight for California, and you will for sure lose. And this guy links a subreddit called Rhode Island Facts. And several foods and dishes are unique to Rhode Island. Hot wieners, which are sometimes called gaggers. Gaggers wieners, or New York system wieners, are smaller than a standard hot dog, served covered in a meat sauce, chopped onions, mustard, and celery salt. And he says, ha ha ha, gaggers, I'm 35. He didn't even put a fucking apostrophe between the I and an M. This post was utterly pointless, and I hope he was downvoted. This guy, Robotzor, Ohio Bernie Squad Gunnery Sergeant. Oh, you've wasted tons of money. He's in quotes, it looks as though nobody will have enough pledge delegates to win this primary outright. Please elaborate on this if you can. I may be falling for the myth of the two-person no tipping point. This guy says, I'm not gonna lie, it hurts me like fuck, and I cried a little. Aw, boo-hoo-hoo. And this guy says, this is the saddest... Oh my. This guy says, this is the saddest moment in human history. Reason and logic loses to stupidity propped up by money, and the majority fails to see it and react accordingly. The human race is inevitably fucked. Guy replies, it'll be okay. There is still an option that will bring this whole corrupt system down. You're kidding yourself if you think a third party will ever fucking win. They're doomed. It's rigged against them. Once Ross Perot almost won it in 92, they're like, we can't let this fucking happen. We're gonna fucking just rig everything every single time someone we don't like gets closer and closer, just to make us tip more in our favors. Happened with Ross Perot, happened with Ron Paul. It's gonna probably happen again if they get their way, which I hope doesn't. Which is not likely gonna happen because Trump's gonna win. And this guy says, Indiana has more delegates than CTNR and Rhode Island combined. We are still in this. And the guy says, I think I gave up now. We need the FBI to save us. And the guy says, the only way the Bernie base can gain respect is to primary all of these Dems worshipping money. And this guy says, in his highlight, who cares if Bernie wins California? He's already lost the nomination. Even losing California, Hillary would have enough delegates to lock the nomination unless Bernie can win like 80% of California, LOL. I think this is a reply, because in the same little box. Super delegates can still switch if we convince them. You're a fucking idiot. Even if we don't win, we would have paved the way for an actual progressive nominee to win the elections next time. Really, you think that the super delegates going to switch to Hillary, even though she had 422 of them before any state fucking voted? They latched on to her like 2 to 3 weeks before anything fucking happened. You really think they are going to switch you're fucking lunatic? I don't think that's very likely. And this guy, this comment was removed, so it's a shame. It's probably something juicy. And this guy replied, just because Clinton is going to be the nominee does not mean that we can't send a message to the establishment. We can do this 2 ways. 1, getting Sanders enough support to shape the platform of the party at the convention. 2, voting Green Party in the general to get the Green Party federal funds and make the establishment take notice that people are not going to take the abuse anymore. Why are they so obsessed with the Green Party? What the why don't they vote Libertarian or something? Because Gary Johnson already has quite a bit of support. So if you add on to him, he'd have a better chance of winning than your fucking lunatic Jill Stein. But I guess I guess Hillary supporters like it's time for a woman in the White House. Bernie supporters like it's time to have a Jew in the White House. That's working so well for Germany. And this guy says, get ready for the full hate of this crowd. It's amazing how the reality of this situation seems to escape them. It's very likely over now. Clinton will be the nominee. And the guy replied, Clinton will be the nominee unless the improbable happens or she's indicted. There are a lot of reasons for Bernie to keep running. No, there isn't. Despite what you and... Oh, yeah, there's a reason. He'll get more money from you stupid sheep. Despite what you and the rest of the Clinton supporters brigade in the subreddit tonight would have us believe. See you at the convention, alright? Oh, yes, anyone who disagrees is a troll. That's great logic. This guy says, people tend to forget that she's under FBI investigation. There is a slight chance she gets indicted. If that happens, Bernie is looking pretty. You all seem to forget that the DOJ is a Democrat who is also a woman who has also gone on record as saying that she's trying to get the FBI to arrest and prosecute people who deny climate change, which is the most anti-free speech thing I have ever heard somebody say, especially with that political power. She's never gonna fucking indict Hillary. You have to find some way to go past her. I don't know if you can to try even get that to fucking happen. The only way to fucking get Hillary out is to vote Trump, the real anti-establishment person, because Bernie's just a fucking shield to get Hillary's supports and money. And this guy replies, "True, but I doubt that happens with her. The likely candidate to become president." And the guy replied, "Any politician or official saying they're certain she won't be charged is telling her that the DOJ or FBI is being somehow paid off not to do their job. The FBI is actually predominantly Republican, and they have 147 people going over her case, including the director of the FBI himself. They hate Hillary, and a lot of them are pro-Trump. And they want it done, but the DOJ, as I said before, is the reason this isn't happening yet. No official should have such certain or knowledge of the case. It's a matter of those departments to take care of, and it's highly inappropriate for officials to be commented on it." Now the guy said, "Why does everyone always have to be bought off?" In quotes. If you take a look at what the investigation actually is, you notice it's an investigation into her use of a private email and private email server, due to the fact that the server was not secured by the NSA. People appear to be misinformed on the nature of the investigation. Here are the relevant passages from the Atlantic article I posted. And in quotes, "As soon as she became Secretary of State, Clinton was frustrated by the rules that prohibited her use of her personal BlackBerry." What fucking year is it? While in her office in Foggy Bottom, funny name, she and her aides considered several possibilities for getting her email access, including asking the NSA to provide a specially encrypted device to her, similar to one President Obama had received. In printed, that request was turned down because fuck Hillary. Clinton never got an encrypted BlackBerry, but she began using her private email server in early 2009. Then he says, as well as, another quote, "None of the content of the emails so far have been especially damning about Benghazi or anything else." That's funny because actually one of the emails that was leaked, to my knowledge, a couple months, like me a month ago, was proving that Hillary knew that shit was gonna happen beforehand and did nothing. I think it says about Iran was behind it or something. I don't remember. It was something similar to that. And this guy's name dances with trees. I bet he's a druggie. And he says, "I'm 100% with you there. I believe in Bernie. I support his message. And even if he had only 20 delegates, I'd still be in his corner. You know why? Because he's the only candidate who believes in me and people like me. Now he only believes in money and furthering his own beliefs. He doesn't give a shit about you or anybody else. He only cares about just lining his pockets of money because he didn't have a job until he was 40. He lived in a fucking old abandoned maple factory with dirt floor. And his power was shut off all the time, and all he did was talk about socialism non-fucking stop. He's a fucking psychopath." This guy says, "Fuck! I'm crying now. Why did it have to be this way? We were supposed to win, CT. I think it's all over." I read that part. This guy says, 300 delegate deficit. I am heartbroken. What are the odds he can realistically somehow get the nomination at this point? I feel like it would take a HRC indictment. We all know that shit isn't going to happen. How the hell is the DNC ever going to opt to run Bernie plus have all the super that got switch? And in the bottom here it says results mega or blah blah blah. And at the bottom it says 14,159 comments, 0 winners.